My husband makes $1 million a year. But his family treats him like an endless ATM. His younger brother bought a house and paid off debts. The kid went to school. Every time his mom shows up, she asks for money. In 3 years we gave over 145,000. I kept telling him to stop. But he always said, family should help each other. To wake him up from his blind loyalty, I teamed up to fake being broke. We pretended we were down on our luck, to see if his family would really care. After he lost his income, or just stand by and watch. Year 1. My brother-in-law Jo Jilin got married and bought a house. His mom asked for 800,000 right away. Jiqing, your brother's wedding is a big deal. You as the older brother putting up 800,000 for the down payment isn't too much, right? Jo Jiqing transferred the money without a second thought. I suggested we treat it as a loan. His mom's face changed on the spot. What do you mean loan? We're family. When your brother has money someday, he won't forget his brother. Year 2. My brother-in-law lost money betting on sports. Owed 500,000 in loan shark debt. His mom brought him over. Crying like crazy. Jiqing, your brother got scammed. He even sold his house. If you don't help him, those guys will chop off his hands. Jo Jiqing transferred another 500,000. I said this is the last time. His mom glared at me. What's your problem? Can't you stand to see our family do well? Year 3. My brother-in-law's son needed to get into a private kindergarten. His mom came asking for 150,000 for the sponsorship fee. Jiqing, Xiaobao, is your own nephew. When he makes something of himself someday, you as his uncle will look good too. Jo Jiqing was about to transfer the money again. I grabbed his hand. Jiqing, let's talk. That night we had a fight. I said, do you even know how much we've spent on your family in 3 years? 1,450,000. He said, that's my own mom and brother. How could I not help? I said, have you ever taken care of our little family? You're already married. You're the head of the family now. You need to know what's more important. Your brother is a bottomless pit. Today it's one thing, tomorrow it's another. You can help him, but you can't keep helping him. Otherwise he'll never grow up. I won't let you talk about them like that. My mom said, once Jilin is stable, he'll pay back all that money. I sneered. When did he ever say he'd pay it back? When did he ever write an IOU? He went silent. Then he said something that chilled me to the bone. Ruping, are you that cold-hearted? They're my family. I'm doing well now. What's wrong with helping them out? At that moment I got it. In Jo Jiqing's heart, his family always comes before ours. And I'm just an outsider. The turning point came one weekend. My mother-in-law called. Her voice was sickly sweet. Jiqing, bring Ruping home for dinner this weekend. Everyone misses you guys. Jo Jiqing hung up the phone, a look of anticipation on his face. Ruping, Mom wants us to come back for dinner. I looked at him, and suddenly had a crazy idea. Jiqing, do you want to test something? Test what? Test to see, if you had no money, would your mom and brother still treat you the same way? He frowned. What do you mean? I mean, we pretend to be broke. This weekend, go back and tell them your company laid you off. You got let go. Now you're unemployed at home, with zero savings, and still carrying a mortgage. Let's see how they react. Jo Jiqing smiled. That confident, slightly mocking smile. Ruping, you're overthinking it. My mom's not like that. Then let's try it. He looked completely sure. But if I win, you'll never badmouth my mom or brother again. Fine. I'm in. But if you lose, from now on I make the calls at home. Deal? He had no idea what he was about to face. Hey, everyone watching, listen up. Slowly recommends a treasure of an app. Douyin Select is super useful. It has tons of high-quality long-form stories. You can read or listen with one tap. It even has a built-in sleep timer. Great for listening while doing chores. Built-in timer feature. Frees up your hands. Convenient and easy. Come check it out. The story continues. That weekend, we got all dressed up for the act. Jo Jiqing wore a faded, worn-out t-shirt, jeans with holes at the knees, deliberately messed up his hair, and didn't shave. I wore a pilled sweater. No makeup. Deliberately made my face look sallow. The whole point was to look broke and hopeless. We drove a rental VW from a used car. Before we left, I said to Zhou Jiqing, remember, you've been unemployed for 3 months now. Sent out 100 resumes, no one wants you. Can't pay the 28,000 monthly mortgage. My side hustle is dead. All the advertisers bailed. We're at the end of our rope. He nodded. But his eyes still had that cocky look like, my mom would never fall for that. The whole drive, Zhou Jiqing kept reassuring me. I watched him talk all confidently, and I hoped I was overthinking it. You silly naive man. You're about to learn what people are really like. Hope you don't get hurt. That's one reason I love Zhou Jiqing. He always sees the good in everything. He's not guarded at all. He's genuinely kind to everyone around him. I've told him multiple times that's not good. We don't hurt others, but we can't let others hurt us either. Whether it's career or marriage, we've come a long way. We need to look out for ourselves more. He just scoffed. Said most people are good. Sure, most people are good. But not his family. His mom's place was a run-down old apartment back in their hometown. 700 square feet. Living there were his mom, his dad, and his younger brother's family of 3. The younger brother and his wife bought a place they rent out. 2 birds with 1 stone. Get someone to take care of them and collect rent too. When we walked in, everyone was there. Mom Wang Dongmei was busy in the kitchen. Dad Zhou Dahai was watching TV on the couch. Younger brother Zhou Jilin was gaming. Sister-in-law Liu Wenwen was scrolling through Douyin. Nephew Xiaobao was playing with toys on the floor. Mom, we're here. Zhou Jiqing called out. Mom poked her head out of the kitchen. She froze for a second when she saw us. Jiqing, what are you? She looked Zhou Jiqing up and down. Her forehead creased. Why are you dressed like that? Wasn't this her son who used to make $1 million a year? Zhou Jiqing followed the script and lowered his head. His voice was hoarse. Mom, I got laid off. What? His mother's voice shot up an octave. She even dropped the spatula in her hand. Everyone in the room turned to look at him. Zhou Jilin put down his phone. Liu Wenwen also looked up. Laid off? Zhou Jilin jumped up. Bro, aren't you a technical director? How could you get laid off? The company isn't doing well. The whole department got cut. Zhou Jiqing's acting was surprisingly good. Maybe he was actually a little nervous. He's been job hunting for 3 months now. Sent out hundreds of resumes, no replies. He pulled out his phone, showing us the job search records he prepared ahead of time. Those were random screenshots I took from a job site, showing sent but unread or not a good fit. His mother snatched the phone, scrolling through those records. Her face got darker and darker. What about your savings? His voice tightened. You made over $1 million a year. You must have some savings, right? Zhou Jiqing gave a bitter smile. Mom, the down payment and renovation for that apartment ate up most of it. For the last 3 months, the mortgage and living expenses have drained everything. Now there's only. He pulled out another phone, opened the banking app. Balance, $3,267.50. This is real money. I deposited it myself. To make it believable. His mother's face visibly turned green. Liu Wenwen leaned over and glanced at the balance. Let out a laugh. Bro, you're kidding, right? A guy who made $1 million a year has only $3,000 in his account. That was the annual salary, not savings. Zhou Jiqing kept his head down. And now I'm unemployed. Where's the annual salary coming from? What about the mortgage? His mother pressed. How much is the monthly payment on that big apartment? 28,000. 28,000? My mother-in-law almost jumped up. So what are you gonna pay with now? How dare you buy such an expensive house? Look at you now. Can't even pay it back, huh? His tone had already shifted from the initial shock to outright blame. Zhou Jiqing froze. He probably didn't expect his mom's first reaction wouldn't be concern. But blame. I added fuel to the fire at just the right moment. Mom, Jiqing just wanted to give us a home. Shut up. My mother-in-law glared at me. If it wasn't for you insisting on buying a big house, Jiqing wouldn't be stuck with all this debt. I've noticed ever since we married you, everything's been going wrong. Now Jiqing's lost his job too. You're basically a jinx reincarnated. All right, you're pinning this on me. Zhou Jiqing's face looked a bit rough, but he held it in. Mom, we're really struggling right now. So, So what? My mother-in-law looked terrified, jumping in fast to cut him off. You're not gonna ask us to borrow money, are you? Jiqing. Mom doesn't have any money either. Your dad's pension barely covers our living. And your brother's family is still living here. Where would we get extra cash? Zhou Jilin chimed in right away. Yeah, bro. I only make 6,000 a month, and I've got Xiaobao to raise. I'm barely scraping by myself. Liu Wenwen also butted in. Right, big bro. You used to be so loaded. Why didn't you save up? Now you come to us. There's nothing we can do. Everyone in the room was talking over each other, all making excuses. Zhou Jiqing's face went from white to red. From red to green. He opened his mouth like he wanted to say something, then swallowed it back down. I watched him and laughed on the inside. See now? This is your family. When you had money, they were your family. When you don't, you're just a thief. Well, we'll head back first. Zhou Jiqing's voice was a little shaky, almost like he was lost. Wait. My mother-in-law called him back. You guys just got here. Eat something before you go. No way you're leaving on an empty stomach. A glimmer of hope flashed in Zhou Jiqing's eyes, but his mother's next words crushed it to pieces. But I didn't buy much groceries today, so just make do with some pickles. That meal was the most interesting one I've ever had. There was a plate of greens on the table, a plate of pickles, and a plate of leftover braised pork from yesterday. When the braised pork was placed in front of Zhou Jilin, my mother-in-law kept piling it on his plate. Eat up, Shilin. You've had a long day at work. In front of Zhou Jiqing, there was only a small dish of pickles. He held his chopsticks, not moving for a long time. I quietly ate my greens on the side. Out of the corner of my eye I saw the clay pot still steaming in the kitchen. I felt nothing inside. Over all these years, Jiqing has been through way worse than this. The word unfairness was written all over this family. All they ever did was take from him, but rarely gave anything back. Yet he still treated them like family, giving everything like a fool. Besides that 1,450,000, the stuff he bought for them, food, daily necessities and red envelopes in the group chat, totaled almost 2 million. What a joke calling him one of their own. When they heard he lost his job, they wouldn't even bring out the braised ribs, simmering in the kitchen. So I saw this coming. I felt so bad for him. Jiqing. My mother-in-law kept putting meat on Zhou Jilin's plate, and said in a serious tone, Don't blame Mom. I can only do so much. I really don't have the money to help you. Given your situation right now, you still have to rely on yourself. Think of more ways to get by. Look, you managed to leave your hometown. That shows you have the ability. I believe you can do it. If it really comes to it, just sell that big house, and get a smaller one. Get through the tough times first. Also, he paused and looked at me. The money you lent Shilin before, he can't pay it back right now. You two are brothers. Just consider it helping him out. Don't bring it up again. If your wife has a problem with it, tell her to come talk to me. I just pursed my lips and didn't say anything. What problem could I have? You never intended to pay it back anyway. Even if I said something, it wouldn't matter. Besides, Jiqing wasn't planning on making them pay it back. He just never said it was a gift. Zhou Jiqing jerked his head up. Mom, that's 800,000, plus 500,000, 1,300,000. What 1,300,000? The mother put down her chopsticks with a smack. That was a gift from the older brother to the younger brother. What do you mean borrow? And now you bring this up? Are you trying to drive your brother into the ground? Zhou Jiqing was choked, unable to speak. He looked at Zhou Jilin, hoping his brother would say something. Zhou Jilin kept his head down, shoveling rice. Bro, I really don't have any money right now. When I have money someday, I won't forget you, for sure. Again with that, won't forget you. Same thing as 3 years ago. Zhou Jiqing's face turned completely gray. After dinner, the mother didn't even ask us to sit for a bit. You guys should go home early. Jiqing still needs to find a job. A man without a job just won't do. Right? She looked at me again. If you can't support your wife will definitely leave you. Mom, what are you saying? Ruping isn't like that. Oh right. As if remembering something. If there's nothing going on, don't come back too often. Taking a cab back and forth costs money too. Aren't you guys both unemployed now? Save where you can. Zhou Zhiqing stood at the door like a log. I pulled him out of that old rundown building and got into the rented Polo. Zhou Zhiqing didn't start the car for a long time. He gripped the steering wheel, still in shock. Ruping. His voice hoarse. Them? How can they be like this? I didn't even ask to borrow money. I didn't say a word. I just quietly watched him. I give them so much money every year. 800,000 for Jilin's house, 500,000 to cover his gambling debts, another 150,000 for Xiaobao's school. That's 1,450,000. And all the small stuff on top of that. Now I'm in trouble. They can't even be bothered to feed me a decent meal. His eyes turned red. This 30-year-old guy, a tech director who everyone listens to at work, looked like an abandoned kid right then. I sighed, reached over and held his hand. Zhiqing, do you get it now? To them, you're not a son, not a brother. You're an ATM. When you have money, you're Zhiqing. When you don't, you're just that unemployed guy. Zhou Zhiqing lowered his head. Tears hit the steering wheel. I don't believe it. I don't believe they're that kind of people. Maybe they really don't have the money. I looked at him. I knew he was still holding on to hope. Fine. If I don't crush his illusion completely, he'll never wake up. Let's try one more time, I said. How? Next week, we come back one more time. This time, we'll ask them for money directly. The second weekend, we went back again. This time it was worse. Zhou Zhiqing wore a jacket with a hole in it. I looked even sicker. And I deliberately coughed a few times. We didn't even bring the car. Said we took the bus to save on gas. When my mother-in-law opened the door, her face dropped. Why are you two here again? Mom, Zhou Zhiqing lowered his head. We wanted to borrow some money from you. Borrow money? Her voice went sharp instantly. You're borrowing money from me? Zhiqing, have you lost your mind? Mom, I used to have money. Mom, we really have no way out now. Zhou Zhiqing stuck to the script we practiced. His voice cracked like he was crying. We're behind on the mortgage. And the bank said they're going to sue us. My credit cards are all maxed out too. Debt collectors call me every day. Ruping's social media channel is completely dead. Zero income coming in. We wanted to borrow 50,000 from you. First, pay off the mortgage. Get through this tough time. 50,000? Mother-in-law looked like a cat whose tail was stepped on. I don't have 50,000. I don't have a single cent. He turned to look inside the house and yelled for Jilin and Wenwen to come out. Zhou Jilin and Liu Wenwen came out reluctantly, looking defensive. Bro? What do you want now? Jilin. Zhou Zhiqing looked at him. His voice was humble. Bro, I wanted to borrow some money from you. Just 50,000. I'll write you an IOU. Pay you back with bank interest. Borrow money. Zhou Jilin acted like he heard the funniest joke ever. Bro, you're borrowing money from me. I still have a mortgage to pay. I only make 6,000 a month. And I have to support Xiaobao. Where am I supposed to get money? Liu Wenwen chimed in too. Yeah, seriously. Big brother. You guys used to be so rich. Why didn't you save any money? Can't you even come up with 50,000? Zhou Zhiqing's face turned completely pale. He probably never thought that his brother, who he'd been so generous with, wouldn't even lend him 50,000 now. What about Xiaobao's New Year's money? I tried to butt in. I heard Zhiqing gives 20,000 every spring festival. That money belongs to the kid. My mother-in-law immediately snapped. You want to take the kid's money? Shen Ruping, how can you be so vicious? Fine. I'm vicious. But when you took your son's money, why didn't you call yourself vicious then? All right. My mother-in-law started turning on us. You two leave. We really don't have any money. Don't come back either. Coming here just adds to the headache. Zhiqing, you're 30 now. Stop running to your mom for everything. You made this mess, figure it out yourself. Zhou Zhiqing got pushed out the door. The door slammed shut behind him. He stood in the hallway, like a statue. I looked at him and said softly, Believe me now? He didn't say anything. He just slowly crouched down and buried his head in his hands. Like a lost kid. On the way back, Zhou Zhiqing didn't say a single word. His eyes were hollow. Like he was a million miles away. But I knew his whole worldview was crashing down. That fantasy of a loving family was shattered by reality. Ruping, he finally spoke, his voice hoarse. Am I really that stupid? Yeah. I didn't comfort him. But you're awake now, so it's not too late. But he gritted his teeth. I can't accept this. I can't accept being treated like this. I was so good to them. And this is how they repay me. Then fight back. How? I smiled. They think we're broke, right? So let them keep thinking that. But this time, we're going to make them show their true colors. What do you mean? Next week, you find a job. But the pay is really low. $8,000 a month. Just enough to cover the mortgage. Not even enough for living expenses. Then we don't have to invite them over. They'll come on their own. You don't believe me? They're definitely sweating it in their heads. Wondering if we're really broke, or if we're just pretending to be poor to fool them. Knowing your mom, she'll definitely come to Shenzhen to check it out herself. Zhou Jiqing looked at me, a flicker of complexity in his eyes. Ruping, you planned this all along. From the first time I gave them 800,000, I was already planning it. I said calmly. I'm not trying to get back at them. I'm trying to save you. Save this family. Zhou Jiqing was silent for a long time. Then he reached out and took my hand. Okay. This time, I'll listen to you. The plan started to roll out. News of Zhou Jiqing finding a job spread to his mom through a casual post on his Moments. A photo of his work badge. Company name, some unknown little tech company. Title, Ordinary Engineer. Caption, A New Beginning. Salary, $8,000 a month. Enough to pay the mortgage. Grateful that life didn't completely knock me down. His mom liked it instantly. Then called him. Jiqing, you found a job? Yeah. Mom. It's a small company, pays not great, but I'll stick with it for now. That's good. That's good. Her tone was clearly relieved. Not out of sympathy, but relieved that he wouldn't have to borrow money anymore. After hanging up, the wheels in his mom's head started turning. She lay in bed back in her hometown, tossing and turning, thinking hard. Is Jiqing really broke? Did that million plus just disappear like that? No way. I have to get to the bottom of this. What if he's just pretending to be broke? What if his whiz is pulling strings behind the scenes? Besides, even if he really went broke, selling that big apartment should leave some cash. It can't all be gone. There's no way he poured everything into it. The more he thought about it, the more pissed off he got. The next day he started asking around. First he called Zhou Jiqing's company. That company was set up by us ahead of time. It was run by one of Zhou Jiqing's friends. Just to go along with the act. The reply he got was, Zhou Jiqing. Oh. The new engineer. He makes 8,000 a month. Average performance. The mother-in-law wouldn't let it go. She then asked relatives back home to check on our real situation in Shenzhen. But she didn't know. Those relatives had already called me. The reply they got was, yeah, I heard they did sell their house. Now they live in some shabby urban village. But the mother-in-law still had a knot in her stomach. That was over $1 million annual salary. How could it just disappear? Even if he got laid off, the severance would be a couple $100,000 at least. He shared this doubt with Zhou Jilin. Zhou Jilin took a drag of his cigarette and squinted. Mom, you know my brother, he's too honest. But his wife is anything but. If you ask me, more likely than not, that woman hid the money somewhere. She's purposely pretending to be broke, so we don't ask for her cash. The mother-in-law slapped her thigh. I knew it. That Shen Ruping, that jinx. She's definitely playing dirty behind the scenes. Liu Wenwen fanned the flames from the side. Mom, you should go to Shenzhen and see for yourself. Where do they live? What car do they drive? What do they eat? You gotta see it with your own eyes to be sure. If they really have money but are pretending to be broke, then we can have a serious talk. Cheating your family is a curse. The mother-in-law gritted her teeth. Fine. I'll go this weekend. Let's go this weekend. Unless I see it with my own eyes, I won't believe a single word. He's got another plan in mind. If Jiqing really is broke, then forget it. There's nothing to squeeze out anyway. But if he's faking it, that means he still has money. And that money should belong to the Zhou family. We need to find a way to get it back. At the same time, I made a decision too. Borrow money from my own family. For no other reason than to make Zhou Zhiqing see what true family means, and what a bloodsucker looks like. I called my mom, briefly explained the situation. She didn't hesitate at all. Transferred 200,000 yuan that same day. And sent a voice message. Ruping's mom trusts you. You don't have to pay this back. If you're being treated badly, come home and yell at us. I played that voice message for Zhou Zhiqing. He was stunned. Your mom just transferred you money without asking anything? Didn't even ask for an IOU from you? No, she didn't. She's not afraid you might be scamming her? I looked at him and said word by word. Because that's my mom. She's someone who truly loves me. She wouldn't ask if the money was a loan or a gift. She would only ask if it's enough, and if not, she'd give more. Zhou Zhiqing's eyes got red again. He lowered his head, his voice trembling. Both are moms. Why is the difference so huge? I patted him on the shoulder. Don't worry. You'll soon see an even bigger difference. On the weekend, my mother-in-law showed up as expected. She didn't call ahead. Or rather, she deliberately didn't. One Wednesday afternoon, I was at home, our real big apartment with a face mask on, binge-watching a show. The doorbell rang. On the monitor, there was my mother-in-law, sneaking around. Somehow she found out our real address. And she came straight over. Perfect timing, I thought. I quickly hid all the valuables in the house, then changed into some old clothes. Mess up the hair. Put some yellow powder on the face. It looks like Qiao Cui wouldn't open the door. Mom, what are you doing here? My mother-in-law just barged in. Her eyes scanned the whole room like a radar. Her face looked like she just ate something nasty. Is this your place? You still lying to me? Living in such a nice place saying you have no money. Are you the one bad-mouthing behind my back? Turning our Zhiqing into a bad person? He even learned to lie to his family. Yes. Mom. I forced a smile trying to stay calm. We're renting, 3,000 a month. A bit better than the old divided room. This whole floor, 3,000 a month? Yeah. I smiled bitterly. I'm pregnant. Zhiqing wanted me to live in a nicer place. Pregnant? He looked at me, confused. Wearing a face mask while pregnant. I touched the mask on my face. And laughed awkwardly. Suddenly becoming a mom. I haven't quite gotten used to it yet. So then, did you really sell your old place? It's not this one. Yes, Mom. Paid off the mortgage, and there's a little left. But Zhiqing wants to use it for investment. Says he wants to turn things around. My mother-in-law immediately got suspicious. What investment? Oh, just something a friend introduced. Says it's a sure thing, no risk. How much did you put in? 300,000. 300,000? My mother-in-law almost jumped out of her seat. Where did you get 300,000? The money from selling the house. I lowered my head. Zhiqing said, this is our only chance to turn things around. My mother-in-law's face twisted. She was probably thinking that 300,000 was supposed to be hers. Her son's money. How could it be thrown into an investment? Shen Ruping. What are you? He pointed at my mom. What kind of friend? Must be a scammer. Get the money back right now, Mom. Zhiqing said. Wait a little longer. We'll break even soon. Wait my ass. The mother-in-law snapped. That money belongs to the Zhou family. Not yours. He pulled out his phone and called Zhou Zhiqing. Zhiqing. You get back here right now. Pull out that investment and get the money back. That's the Zhou family's money. I won't let your wife waste it. On the other end of the line, Zhou Zhiqing played clueless like the script said. Mom. What money? That's my money. Your money is the Zhou family's money. The mother-in-law screamed. Get back here. Or I'll kill myself in front of you. She hung up. The mother-in-law paced around the room. Like a cat on a hot tin roof. I sat on the sofa watching coldly. 30 minutes later, Zhou Zhiqing rushed back. Mom. What are you doing here? If I didn't come, you'd blow all the Zhou family's money. The mother-in-law pointed at her. Pull that investment right now. Get the money back. Mom, that's my money. Zhou Zhiqing argued. Your money. The mother-in-law sneered. Didn't I raise you? You wouldn't be where you are today. Every single cent of your money belongs to the Zhou family. Remember that. Business is tough now. Listen to mom and get the money back. First give it to your brother. I'll pay you back later. Or I'll keep it safe for you. Zhou Zhiqing's face completely changed. Not because of the investment, but because of those words. He looked at his mom, his voice trembling. Mom, are you saying all the money I gave you before is the Zhou family's money? Of course. The mother-in-law said, full of herself. You're the oldest son of the Zhou family. Your money is the Zhou family's money. The Zhou family's money. Mom has the right to control it. Well, I've got no money now. Zhou Zhiqing pressed on. Why won't you help me? Don't you have a job now? 8,000 a month, you can live on that. The mother-in-law waved her hand impatiently. Just get back that investment money. Mom will keep it safe for you. Your brother needs it now. Your dad and I don't even have retirement money sorted. The family's tight on money right now. Zhou Zhiqing fell silent. He looked at me. Pain in his eyes. Anger too. But more than anything a cold clarity. Mom, he said calmly. What if I said that investment already went under? What? The mother-in-law's face went pale instantly. Gone. Zhou Zhiqing didn't flinch. All 300,000 gone. The friend bolted. That money's never coming back. You. The mother-in-law trembled all over, pointing at Zhou Zhiqing. You good for nothing. That was the Zhou family's money. Your brother's house money. Your nephew's tuition. How could you? How could you? She suddenly clutched her chest as she spoke, then let out a groan and collapsed to the floor. Mom. Zhou Zhiqing instinctively moved to help. I stopped him. Don't move. She's acting. Sure enough, the mother-in-law lay on the ground, sneaking one eye open just a crack, watching our reaction. Seeing we didn't react, she slowly came around and started wailing. Oh my God. What did I do to deserve this? Raised such an unfilial son. 300,000, just gone like that. What about Jilin's house? What about Xiaobao's tuition? She cried with tears and snot. But not a single word was about Zhou Zhiqing. It's all about money. Zhou Zhiqing stood there like a statue. Then he smiled. A cold, light laugh. A laugh that saw through everything. Mom, stop crying. That 300,000 wasn't a loss. His mother's sobbing stopped dead. What? I said that 300,000 wasn't a loss. Zhou Zhiqing pulled his phone out of his pocket. He opened an app. Because that 300,000 never even existed. We never invested. We never sold the house. And we never lived in a shanty town. He walked to the window, threw open the curtains. Outside was a full view of Nanshan Science and Technology Park. Skyscrapers everywhere. Lights shining bright. This is our home. Not one we rent for 3,000 a month. We were never poor. His mother lay on the floor. Her mouth wide enough to fit an egg. You tricked me. You really tricked me. Yeah, I tricked you. Zhou Zhiqing turned to look at her. If I didn't trick you, how would I know you only care about money? If I didn't trick you, how would I know you never saw me as a son? If I didn't trick you, how would I know I'm just a pig you raised? Fatten it up, then butcher it. He pulled out his phone, opened a video. It was the whole scene of his mother, pretending to be dead on the floor earlier, captured crystal clear by a hidden camera. Mom, guess what? If I upload this video online, with the title, Mother Fakes Her Death for Money to Pressure Her Son, what do you think would happen? His mother's face went from white to green, from green to purple. You wouldn't dare. I dare. Zhou Zhiqing said calmly. I dare to cut ties, what else wouldn't I dare? He crouched down and looked her in the eyes. Mom, from today on, I won't give you a single cent. Consider that 1,450,000 I gave you as buying out our mother-son relationship. Please leave. Don't come looking for me again. His mother left. Zhou Zhiqing had her escorted out. She cursed all the way down the hallway, saying I was the one whispering in his ear, driving a wedge between them in the family. But her voice was much weaker now. She knew Zhou Zhiqing had changed. He knew Zhou Zhiqing had changed. He's not the same person anymore. He's not the dutiful son he used to be. I've gotten used to it. Over the years he's found fault with everything I do. He can't even stand his own son, let alone his daughter-in-law. But the story doesn't end there. Once my mother-in-law got back to her hometown, she immediately launched a war of public opinion. She posted tearful accusations in the family group chat, saying Zhou Zhiqing was unfilial and lied to her, and that his wife had led him astray. She even found my social media account, spamming the comments section. She said I was driving a wedge between them and teaching her husband to be disobedient. All of a sudden, both Zhou Zhiqing and I became public enemies. But this time, Zhou Zhiqing didn't back down. He recorded a video himself and posted it online. In the video, he calmly told his story. He was raised to always give in to his younger brother. When his brother bought a house after starting work, it was only natural for the older brother to pay for it. After getting married, your money became the Zhou family's money. He showed all the transfer records. 1,450,000, every penny accounted for. He played the recording of his mother-in-law. Those were family don't be so petty lines. Those empty promises of paying him back later. Finally, he played that video of him playing dead. At the end of the video he said, "I used to think being filial meant giving unconditionally. Now I finally understand. That wasn't filial piety. That was blind obedience. I used to think my family would have my back when I was in trouble. Now I finally get it. Some family only shows up when you have money. I'm not unfilial. I just finally learned to protect myself. Protect my wife. And protect my home." The video blew up. It got over 10 million views in 3 days. The comments were completely on Zhou Zhiqing's side. Cutting ties with a mom like that is the right call. Families with a golden child and a scapegoat are terrifying. Finally, a man who woke up. His mother-in-law's public opinion campaign totally backfired. She became the internet's most hated, the poster mom for toxic mothers-in-law. Relatives back in the hometown all switched sides. No one dared speak up for her anymore. After all, nobody wanted to be dragged through the mud online. But what really brought the truth to light was an unexpected phone call. That day, Zhou Zhiqing got a call from a distant aunt back home. The aunt hesitated and said, "Zhiqing, there's something I don't know if I should tell you. But your mom and her side are just too much. I think you deserve to know." "What is it?" Zhou Zhiqing asked. The aunt was silent for a long time, then said, "You're not your parents' biological child. When you were little, they thought they couldn't have kids. So they adopted you from somewhere else. Then they had your younger brother, and they treated you like an outsider. All the older folks back home knew about it, but nobody dared tell you." Zhou Zhiqing's phone slipped from his hand. He stood there, frozen, like he'd been struck by lightning. I picked up the phone, thanked the aunt, and hung up. Then I hugged him. His body was shaking, so his voice is hoarse. "So ever since I was a kid, they told me to give in to my little brother, to make money for him, to be their slave. It's not because of my brother, it's because I'm an outsider. No, not an outsider. They treat me like a tool. From the day they adopted you, you were just a tool to pave the way for their real son." Zhou Zhiqing finally let the tears fall. Not out of grievance, not out of anger, but out of a bone-chilling coldness from family. No wonder my mom never called me by my nickname, just called me Zhiqing, like I was a stranger. No wonder my dad would say when drunk, "This kid doesn't take after me." I thought he was joking. I hold his hand tight. "Now you know. It's not your fault. Your family never had good intentions from the start." He lifts his head, eyes all red. "If what you're saying is right, then I spent all these years, wasted so much money, just to see who they really are. No," I say. "Now you can finally let it go." A month later, his mother-in-law came by again. This time her hair was even grayer. No father-in-law, no Zhou Jilin, no Liu Wenwen. She stood at our doorstep, hair all white, back hunched, looking 10 years older. "Zhiqing." Her voice wasn't sharp anymore, but carried a hint of humility. "Mom wants to talk to you." Zhou Zhiqing looked at her but didn't open the door. "About what?" About the past." His mother-in-law lowered her head. "Mom knows she was wrong. She shouldn't have just used you as an ATM. Shouldn't have ignored whether you lived or died. Zhiqing, Mom's getting old. Probably doesn't have many days left. Mom doesn't ask for your forgiveness. Just wish you'd come back to see me sometimes." Zhou Zhiqing stayed silent for a long time. Then he said, "Mom, I already know." The old lady was taken aback. "Know what?" "That I'm not your biological son." Her face went pale instantly. She opened her mouth, wanting to say something, but couldn't get a word out. You don't need to explain. Zhou Zhiqing's voice was calm. I've checked everything. The paperwork when you adopted me. I found the people back home who knew the story. You never really saw me as family. You raised me. Because you were scared you couldn't have kids. And needed someone to take care of you in old age. Then Jilin was born. And I became the extra one. No. Not extra. Just a tool you could still use. Tears streamed down the old lady's face. This time, they were real. Zhiqing, Mom, I'm sorry. That money, 1,045,000. I won't ask for it back. Zhou Zhiqing said. Consider it my repayment for raising me all these years. From now on, I'll send you 2,000 a month for living expenses. Just what the law requires. But I can't give you anything else. The family feeling you gave me had a price tag on it. And now, I can't afford it anymore. He closed the door. Outside, the old lady's crying faded away. I held Zhou Zhiqing's hand. You did the right thing. I said. He nodded. His eyes a little red. But no more tears. 3 years later, Zhou Zhiqing became the company's CEO. With an annual salary of 3 million. My self-media account hit over 10 million followers. And my annual income passed 1 million. We had our own child. A 2-year-old daughter. Named Zhou Nianan. Meaning remembrance of peace and tranquility. And not forgetting where we started. Zhou Jilin and Liu Wenwen ended up divorced. Zhou Jilin never quit gambling. And racked up a ton of debt. Their house was foreclosed. Now he's hauling bricks on a construction site. My mother-in-law lives alone in our hometown. She gets by on the 2,000 bucks Zhou Zhiqing sends her every month. Occasionally, he'll mail us some local specialties from back home. Dried red dates and pickled peaches. We never send them back. But we also never reach out first. We just let him keep sending them. And let him keep hoping. That's another kind of punishment. Even crueler than cutting ties completely. Sometimes Zhou Zhiqing just stares at those packages. I know he's thinking about the past. Does he regret it? I ask him. He shakes his head. No regrets. He just sometimes wonders. If only I'd listened to you from the start. I smile. It's not too late now. And honestly, you're way cooler now than when you were a mama's boy. He smiles too. He hugs me and Nianan. Thank you for not giving up on me. Thank you for saving me. Outside the window, Shenzhen's sunset is blazing like fire. Our home feels warm like spring. And all those past hurts have finally become distant memories. They don't hurt anymore. They just remind us. Some family is just a coincidence of blood. Real family are the ones willing to give for you, not just take from you. Zhou Zhiqing took 3 years to finally get that. But he got it in the end. And that's enough. The end.